Okay, we live. That's what it says. Welcome everyone to Carbondale United's virtual open mic poetry night. We will begin shortly. Well, actually, we're about to begin right now. Welcome. Here's our open mic poetry night schedule. Carbondale United mission statement and upcoming events will be shown. Poetry reading from our panel of poets, Samuel Hawkins, and then we'll have any questions, and Kenny Fresh, questions for him. And on the third one, we will open the mic for everyone or anyone that wants to do a poetry reading. Prizes. The poets will select the best poems and or poem readers from the open mic that will receive a prize. Good luck, everybody. Carbondale United, our mission is to provide an avenue of healing and community safety through awareness, education, and activism. Our goals are to eliminate gun violence and racism from our neighborhoods and to provide events that are inclusive and diverse. To stay in touch with us, you can contact us at facebook.com/createabettercommunity15 or via email at carbondaleunited15@gmail.com. One of our upcoming events is the Women's Center is celebrating Women's History Month with the Black Tuesday Business Group. That will be on March 23rd, 2021 from 4 to 7 at University Mall, 1237 East Main Street, Carbondale, Illinois. For more information, contact Nancy Maxwell at 618-306-5885. Also, following Black Tuesday, we will have Talk That Talk, a public speaking forum, March 25th at 6 p.m. Come and learn the proper tools and tips to help increase your skills in public speaking. This will also be via Zoom. You can register at carbondalepubliclibrary.org, and gifts and prizes will be available for attendees. Want to read or have a question? To submit a question, use the Zoom Q&A or comment on Facebook live stream. To read a poem, use the Zoom chat to tell us that you have a poem you would like to read. Our first poet will be Mr. Samuel Hawkins. Samuel, aka Snacks Hawkins, was born in the volunteer state but raised in Kentucky, influenced by jazz, hip hop, to bring you a spoken word experience that will not only entertain but also make you think. Samuel has published 3 books of poetry. This is why kids want to stay up late. The greatest story ever sold, and every day from festivals, colleges, and conventions. Samuel has wild and moved audiences across the nation. And he can be reached at samuelhawkins.org. And I do want to tell you, he was at our march for Breonna Taylor Saturday, and he did just an excellent job. So you're in for a treat. So, Samuel, I'm going to turn the mic over to you.
Okay, there we go. I'm free. I'm muted. Thank you, Nancy, for the invitation to speak at your the march that we have for Breonna Taylor, and for just having the march, and definitely for the invitation tonight to share. I really appreciate it, and also the introduction. Even though I shared the bio, I always like I don't know. I feel some type of way. Makes me feel good and awkward at the same time hearing my bio read. But anyway, I'm gonna do a poem. Obviously, this is called "Ode to the Sun." It is a poem about the sun, and I hope you enjoy it. Uh, Forever youthful dandelion, rising to set your waltz on our oceans. Can I have this dance? God bless your holy rays, they arrange like violin strings. So go ahead and plant your song on a full moon like a last kiss. So when night arrives, like a promise we never intended to keep, we'll know that you're waiting at an altar in the sky for our gaze to hold you close and kiss you soft like lovers holding hands. You're a golden wedding band, the promise that always returns, dragging morning behind you like train carts. Those train tracks lead toward tomorrow, and I hope will follow. I'm praying that will follow. Because a lot of us, yes, like my grandmother said, a lot of us are in a hurry headed in the wrong direction. So gently guide us back. Yeah, teach us how to shine again. Because this world needs light to make these roaches scatter. Be the lamp that built darkness a coffin. Be the sun that never forgets to shine. The sun never sets. We just turn our backs on light. Don't turn your back on the fight when things get hard. Go harder. Yes, go harder. Your life is a book. Let the bravery in your bones be the author. Be the knee on the thing to lose. Twist this neck like a filthy sponge until dead slaves spill out. I want to see, yes, I want to see America's horrors with no CG on the budget. So before you put your hand over your heart like you love it, be the light that scatters the lyrics of the third verse of our national anthem. Dock your prejudice on the shore of brotherhood. Anchor your kneecaps until they kiss the roots of my family tree. And let's not forget the branch holding the rate that painted my skin tone honey chocolate. Before you speak with absolute certainty, I think you need to check your optics, because we both see a flag waving. You may see your ancestors' heritage. Well, I see my ancestors' bondage. You may want to see a statue of Lloyd Tillman and Robert E. Lee. Well, I want to see a statue of Ruby Bridges and Maya Angelou. You may hear the whistle of Dixie and other Confederate classics. I hear the dead speak from shallow graves. They ain't even get a casket. America's true colors, why mask it? The same flame used to ignite your fireworks and celebrate the 4th of July contain the same flame that left my ancestors in ashes. So you may hear the boom. Yeah, you may hear the boom to celebrate your independence. Well, I hear the gentle whisper of my grandmother's testimony told on a South Carolina college campus. She went there to teach, but some of their minds had already been made up like 3 a.m. Army bed sheets. Some of the not so neat folks, why they wore those white sheets like ghosts. Now the blokes, why they sport khakis and a tiki torch. It's the same hate draped in a different uniform. The story my grandmother shared with me made the hallelujah in my chest curl into a fist just to hear my grandmother say, we must be open like an amen if we are ever to hold hands with the ones that held us down. She said, we must be open like 3 a.m. textbooks during finals week, because the study break for racism in America 101 is over. And I hope we learn something this time. I hope we pass the test, because we've been failing over and over and over again. I hope we pass this time. But only light can drive out that darkness. And we all know it's not easy being light. It burns. A dark room. Any stories that haven't been told are photos that haven't been developed yet. It's time for some exposure. Well, thank God that we all came from the sun to be that light. Be that light. Yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. Be that light. I know I'm supposed to take questions now.
You are. So we're going to do, if anybody has any questions for Samuel, you can type those into the chat or into the Q&A, either way. I'm going to start with the question. Samuel, you have so much musicality in your writing. There's a lot of rhythm and repetition and features that would often be found in song as well. So, do you have any musical training? Were you in band, or where does that come from? That musicality.
I think it's the definitely from the bio, definitely up listening, and it's hard not to. Well, I guess yeah, when you start writing, or I think anything, you start emulating first, especially with writing. Yeah, you writers you admire, and I know there's a lot of MCs that I admire, and definitely using some of their cadences is where that came from.
How old were you when you started writing poetry?
Oh man, I was 14, yeah, or 13 really, and then I didn't start like sharing it till I was 14, and then I didn't even start performing or speaking it in public until I was 16, which that first time I felt like I was gonna die. It was terrible, but yeah, it was exhilarating at the same time.
What was that venue when you were 16?
Uh, it was um, it was through a NAACP contest. It was called AXO, Afro Cultural Technical Science Olympics, mouthful. But I made it to the national competition in Philadelphia, and yeah, it was like 500 people in the room, and I was not ready for that. I was ready to share, but I wasn't ready for all that.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot for a 16-year-old.
And I was like, my sister looked at me. She was like, "What's wrong with you? Did you sleep last night?" And I was like, I think I need to just. I was trying to find a way to be sick.
But you got through it.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Um,
Diana, before we
yeah.
go to the next guest, I'm going to ask a favor of Samuel there. A lot of people see the video of you speaking at the march, but it's only a short clip,
Oh
and
yeah.
they didn't get to hear the whole poem. Would it be possible to get you to do the whole poem for us right quick?
Are you the America the Beautiful?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, I can do it. Most definitely. Do you want me to go ahead or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then we'll move on to our next guest.
Yeah, Mr. Fresh, which I'm excited for. All right, cool. This is America the Beautiful in the same lane as the poem I just shared, and it's yeah, America with 3 Ks. Y'all see what I mean? Honestly, I didn't want to write this, but God planted a fuse in my heart, and the truth will ignite it, love will enlight it. Listen, this American dream is a birthday party with a Ku Klux theme, and everybody wasn't invited. The guest list, political policies, we need to rewrite it. Maybe then no riots. Maybe then the aching hearts will quiet. Maybe then we can stand together again under a new anthem, flying united. But right now, it feels like we're in a plane with no pilot in the streets. It's going down, but like that same playing field with textbooks, I'm here to drop you some knowledge. Hope you hear me hand over my heart, flag, pledge allegiance, or take a knee and file a grievance? Is it justice for all or justice for all who fall under a certain category? The justice system is quite fair if you have the money, power, and influence to fight it. Listen to me. Eric Gardner was strangled to death on a New York City corner for selling loose cigarettes. And who you think they indicted, huh? The cameraman. Like, swear, I ain't got the answers, man. But for real, it feels like I'm in a dog park taking canine gender surveys. Ain't that the whip that cracked the back of my ancestors? I wrote this because my soul was restless. God bless the families affected. They paint your passing loved ones as thugs and drug addicts. Decency has been neglected. What a way to be disrespected. I've been infected. I found myself crying. And if I recall correctly, it's not my family members that are dying, but it feels like it is. True story. I started this poem years ago for Trayvon Martin and scrapped it. My brain said it was bandwagon source material. But how many isolated incidents until we call coincidence consistency? Oh, the plot thickens like Magic City employees, please. Someone help me understand why Sandra Bland never got a chance to take the stand. What was Tamir Rice guilty of in the first place? Looking suspicious? Does that deserve a death sentence? We should stop and take a moment and ask Emmett Till or Breonna Taylor how she feels. And I know some of you are tired of hearing these names in poems. Well, I'm tired of Black fathers not making it home, whether it's after work or after class. We're left with bullet holes, blood stains, and a body bag in the aftermath. And I ain't be fatal. How many Black bodies have to pile up until enough is enough? And we know Chicago is at it rough, but if Jerome kills Jamal, he's prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But if Officer Paul guns down Jerome, he just becomes another name in a poem. Can you hear the white silence in the violence? Our critics are beginning to sound like crickets, quick to critique and teach us how to protest, but Kate Upton or Drew Brees ain't got nothing to say when an unarmed Black man takes one to the chest. I guess the national anthem was playing too loud to hear the sound of our souls cracking like burning buildings. Our throats are screaming water, but they tell us to hold our ladders because all houses matter, even though ours is on fire. I guess we'll just have to wait until we're ashes just to watch Justin Timberlake gentrify our soul. I wonder if he worries about being filled up with holes, because it's hard to stand for an anthem when you're being shot down, blood blooming like suicide roses on the ground. When we bleed together. That's solidarity. Apparently, there isn't enough empathy in this world to go around. And I know this is not my story, not my narrative, but to speak up for those that can no longer speak for themselves. To speak up for those that can no longer speak for themselves. Why? They were made into ghosts. To speak up for those that can no longer speak for themselves, to feel their pain is imperative. So I hope you take it in. I hope you feel it like an empty water bottle. Because to find solutions, we must first acknowledge that for a long time, there's been a big problem. Yeah. And we gotta find us.
We're going to snap our fingers on that.
Oh, man, appreciate it.
Yes, every time I hear it. You don't know how many times I listen to just that little portion of the Daily Egyptian video.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad I get to share it again.
Thank you, Samuel, and I'm sure we will be talking to you again.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and we're going to move on to Kenny Fresh. Kenneth L. Woods is a Hawaii native, literary enthusiast, published author, etymology fan, fun-loving father and husband. As Indiana University graduate with a Bachelor's of Science in Biology and Associate's degree in Chemistry, his love for science and poetry provides a distinctive art performance. Okay, I kind of messed that up, but y'all got what I was saying. So here we are, Kenny Fresh, and he can be reached at refresherpoint.com, and I'm giving the mic over to you.
Hey, glad to be here. Thank you so much. How y'all doing tonight? Like Nancy said, my name is Kenny Fresh, Kenneth Woods. Stage name is Kenny Fresh, and I'm not even gonna waste your time. I'm gonna get into this first piece. It's called Meticulous, and that just means to be picky with our words. And I want us to be picky with the words that we use for others, but also for ourselves. So Here we go. Never underestimate the power of your words. You see, we live in the age of word count. Every syllable is tallied and held in record, so you best make your words count, because life and death are in the power of the tongue. And I see some of you were still doubtful. Just think about all the lives we lost as a result of cyberbullying. With the click of a mouse and some typed letters, souls are crushed and hope is fettered. There's too much going on in this world, so I can't keep wasting words. So many of us believe we were made in the image of God, but we fail to realize that just as his words give life, ours have the same effect. And now, we may not be able to bring planets into existence with our words, but our words shape the world around us. We see your words create your world. What you breathe into existence will be the framework for the portrait that your life will be painted in. This is why complaints are nothing more than ink blots on a freshly printed page. They take the focus off the words, and in some cases, hide a part of the story. This is why every word that I spit is handpicked. It was carefully considered and cautiously critiqued, because while I'm whispering sweet nothings in y'all's ear, there was someone outside literally dying to hear words like, hello, what's your name? You matter. Or the most dangerous word in the world, love. So as you can see, I'm as tight with my words as a customer, calculating how much tip to leave. Should I give 15 or 20%? How much to speak if I'm able? Because just like them, I can't afford to leave too much land on the table. There's too much vernacular manslaughter, reckless endangerment with verbs, too many poor souls serving life from the damage of words served. And what do we all thought twice? And aim to inspire attitudes of death into a liturgical literacy of life. Because I've seen firsthand the strife that comes from wanton, run-on sentences not structured, intact, in decency. And recently, it seems like we forgot how to communicate. But I'm not perfect, so I won't cast a stone. Rather, I will build. Use my tongue to paint beautiful pictures in light of the sun, in light of who I'd like to become. But it all starts with me, and in time translates to we. And this is not to preach to you. Rather, this is to reach to you. So let every said syllable sound of sincere structure, not settling for some or stagnant sentences, a servitude. So in short, words matter. Be meticulous. That's that piece.
That was awesome, Kenny.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now we're gonna have some Q&A questions or comments on Facebook live stream. Diana, do we have any questions for Kenny?
Let's see. If you can keep an eye on the live stream, Nancy, and see if there's any questions there. And if anybody in the room has questions, type them into the Q&A or into the Zoom chat, whichever you prefer. I do see a question here. Mahala Pittman says, I love entomology. What is your favorite bug?
All right. So fun fact. So favorite bug. Actually, the bug that I like doesn't really even fall into like the entomology thing. I like spiders, right? So that's more of arachnology. So I have a pet tarantula. This year marks like 7 years. It's a Chilean rose hair, so it's a pinkish brown spider. I keep it in a terrarium, and she's pretty much, I call her my 8-legged roommate. So I've had her for 7 years. Life expectancy is like 15 to 20. So that's my favorite. I love spiders. I grew up reading about them. I loved Spider-Man. And, this is the second time I've had a tarantula. I had one when I was a teenager. So, yeah, spiders are my favorite.
Cool. And then Allison Raham says, what inspired you to make this piece?
That's such a good question. I wrote Meticulous back in 2011, 2012. And I was just trying to challenge myself to write. I really wanted that piece. There was a show that used to be called Verses and Flow. I think it was on like TV One or something, where they would bring in poets to perform in front of an audience. And so I went to the site and I read their rules. Like, you couldn't really reference anything, any pop culture references, anything like that. You really had to come up with original material. So I wrote Meticulous for that. But I ended up submitting it, and I wasn't chosen. And so, but it's just been a really strong piece, and I love performing it. And I realized that, inspiring people to be picky with their words is a worthwhile endeavor. So that's why I continue. It's almost like one of my, like a soul piece. Like, I can do that one without thinking, because I've been doing it so long. It's just become a part of me. So, yeah.
All right. Hey, how quickly does a piece come to you?
That's such a good question. Man, it can go. It really depends. It can go from hours. I wrote something recently. Like I was during Super Bowl. I started to watch it. I only watched it to watch Amanda Gorman, the young lady poet who's making waves. She, first poet to do something at the Super Bowl. And I started to watch it. She got to do her performance. As soon as they did the coin flip, I turned off the game. I was like, this is kind of triggering because my grandfather, we used to love to watch the game, and he died in like 2016. And I didn't realize Super Bowl affected me like that till I tried to watch it. So I turned it off, and instead of watching the game, I wrote like a whole poem about watching the game with my grandfather in like 2 hours. But it almost never happens like that. There's some poems that take me weeks. Like I have a certain theme that I want to get to, and sometimes the words don't come. Sometimes the piece will come, and then I have to wait a week or two to come up with a clever name. That happened with something I wrote called Black Historical Nonfiction. It was the name of the piece, but the poem had been done, but it took like a good week or two to come up with a solid name. So it's one of those things when you're trying to write or do anything creative, it almost feels like you're trying to like grab smoke. Like sometimes that, you can wrestle that inspiration. Sometimes it comes flowing out of you. Sometimes you really got to fight for it. It really just depends on the circumstance for real.
Grab smoke is a really great way to put that.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe we are ready for open mic. So let me do a couple of quick things here. And I know we've got some people who are ready and willing to read. Just
Yeah.
one sec.
So, Carmen, are you ready to go? Carmen?
And if she's not ready, there are some folks in the participant list that I can pull into, have them begin. So let me check on them. I've got R. Chanel. Hang on, I will get in there and pull you in here so that you can read for us. 1 second.
Hold on, Diana. Carmen was stuck. She couldn't unmute.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll pull in. I'm going to go ahead and pull in those who want to read. And then when I pull you in, so I'm pulling in R. Chanel, Zaria Ford, and Mahala Pittman. And so I've pulled the three of you in. If you will just go ahead and mute yourselves so that you don't talk over anybody else while they're reading. And it looks like Carmen, are you ready to go, or would you like somebody else to go first?
Yes, I'm nervous after listening to those young men, but I guess I can go.
All righty.
Mine isn't as nice as theirs, but it's mine. So can you hear me?
We sure
Hello?
can. You can begin when you're ready. And if you want to turn on your video, you can. If you just want to do it with audio, that's fine too.
It won't let me turn on my video. It doesn't let me turn on my video.
I'm sorry. I think, 1 second.
I just did it.
Okay.
You should be able to turn it on.
Sorry
It's still
about
saying I cannot start. Maybe you need to go to somebody else and come back to me when they work the bugs out.
that. Okay, we can do that. R. Chanel, are you ready? You just got to unmute yourself. All right, we can see you. I can see Carmen. Hang on, let me get R. Chanel, you are unmuted. Let me see if I can get your video started. Okay, so you'll start your video later. R. Chanel, do you want to go ahead and go? You're muted. Carmen, your video is started. If you want to, but your bandwidth is a little low. And you are muted. If you want to go ahead and go, you can go with or without video. I can't hear you because you are muted.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Arsenal. You want to go ahead and do your poem?
Thank you. You were unmuting me while I was trying to unmute me, and we were just fighting over the mute button.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. You all set?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right.
So the poem I will be reading today is actually from my collection. It's available on Spotify, on Amazon, and wherever poetry or music, digital streaming is available. The poem is called No Allegiance. I don't pledge allegiance to the flag because it never pledged allegiance to me. For the past week, I've awakened angry. My allegiance is to the one that gave his blood, not taking blood. I won't take my hat off. I refuse to utter those words. The only reason why I stand is to stretch my legs, improving circulation. I like the Star Spangled Banner song, the Whitney Houston version. My ancestors chose to sacrifice their lives even when the military was segregated. When the smoke cleared, no matter the skin color, all of the blood that was shed was red. I live in an at-will state, the city part that uses streetlights, where my life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness can be sold if the price is right. Country police question me for working while Black. I lack any sympathy. I won't pledge allegiance to a flag because it never pledged allegiance to me. Many of these professional football players have bachelor's degrees, masters, and doctorates. The shut up and play mentality treats them like a slave trade or meat market. I enjoy the protests. That's what my uncles fought for. Let their voice count. Let them use their platform. I've had white men sit on the side of the road, waiting until I get off of work and attempting to kill me because I'm one less Blackie trying to live the American dream. I live and love this neighborhood, but I'm not attracted to the drug dealers. I'm okay with rejecting the druggies, pill poppers, weed heads, and drunkards. How dare I not allow society to objectify, sexualize, and degrade me, a human being? I won't pledge allegiance to the flag because it never pledged allegiance to me. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That was awesome. Good job. I'm going to snap my fingers to that. Okay. Thank you so much. And we need you to hold on because at the end of all the poetry readings, Samuel and Kenny is going to make a decision about whose poem they thought was really good. So next we have on the stage Carmen Allen.
Adewi.
I was waiting for you to do the rest.
Okay, so my poem is a little bit different and it's from my life experience because I have lived a little bit. So I usually write out emotion. So my poem is called My Truth. From the 50s till today, we will always kneel and pray for the change that hasn't come, for the steps already done, for the fight, for the rights, and the countless sleepless nights. We have crawled, we have walked, we have marched, we have fought. We chant, it's been a long time coming, but this race, we must keep running. Running this race, running this race, running this race, and stepping up the pace. To rid us of this racism that's practiced everywhere, that's practiced everywhere. So common, they don't care. We say we are provoked. We say we are woke, but still we get complacent with this pandemic and systemic racism. Are we fed up with the setup? Huh. We out here getting killed while they're sitting there being chilled. We calling, we screaming, we chanting. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And still, we have no answers. That's it.
Okay, Carmen. I'm gonna snap my fingers to that one too. We got some good poets tonight. Y'all got a rough job, a tough job rather, Kenny and Samuel. Okay, next on the mic we're gonna have Mahela Pittman. And if I said it wrong, please forgive me.
That's okay. Yeah, it's Mihaela.
Mahela. Okay, we're gonna have Mahela Pittman.
All right. Thanks. I'm so excited to be here. And thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. This is like so great. Okay, this is a poem I wrote called I Am a Thug. I am a thug. I walk on the same streets where innocent necks were met with steel knees. To thugs, burning buildings is like cutting onions in the eyes of the desensitized, who fell into a torpor blind to our demise because they don't cry for Black lives. But they cry for the tax dollars that paid for the fire trucks we vandalized. They cry for the Target in flames they can no longer monetize. They cry for the fresh paint job they'll have to pay for to cover the spray painted pain poems of inequality. I am a thug. I teach my brothers to hide their Blackness in the face of privilege. I tell them, don't walk alone, take off your chain, no do-rags, no tank tops, hands up, head down, don't reach in your pocket, don't look around. Code switching becomes a life alert in the face of those who turn heads with brains and bodies with beating hearts into headlines of the nation's next controversy, into strange fruit on the hot pavement. I'm a thug. You break the windows of our nation's capital. You rummage the desks of our Congress, pillage the offices of our lawmakers. You openly brandish your guns. You climb Capitol walls to win a race you never won. But I am the one fighting a losing battle. I'm a thug. You come together like angry children at play. You scream and you stomp your feet because you didn't get your way. Religious beliefs in disguise of political policy. Because your blind worship is faith-based in nature. You grow on the power of fallacy. I'm a thug. You commit domestic terrorism, treason at best, when I built this country with the bloody stained cotton fingers of spiritual song poets, but you are the patriot, and I am told to go back to Africa. I'm a thug. You tear apart our country from the inside out. You can storm our nation's buildings and interrupt federal processes. You can demand your party, but when I demand my equal rights, I am met with rubber bullets, dogs, hoses, and painful nights. Our opprobriums are your revolution. When I scream in response to an unjust murder, I am arrested, I am shot, I am beat. When you spit on our Constitution and crunch democracy beneath your feet, law enforcement helps you down the stairs. Our president calls you special, like you deserve a hug. When you express your tantrum, you are a protester. When I express my despair, I am a thug. Thank you.
All right now. That was very good. Thank you. Okay, do we have any other poets that want to get up and rock the mic tonight?
We have Zaria Ford.
Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Zaria.
Okay.
I'm a sophomore at Rockridge High School. Today, I'd like to present a poem I wrote called Colors. It's about my experience from middle school, specifically the 8th grade, and what it was like being the only Black kid in the classroom and how I had to take that experience and learn from it and grow from it. Blue skies, white clouds, green grass, pink shoes, brown feet on concrete, yellow sun brings heat. Tag or hide and seek, so many games to choose. How about soccer? I sure hope we don't lose. Run, kick, sweat, and play, soggy shirts and dirty knees. Time to go home already. 10 more minutes, please. Mom buys me ice cream at the McDonald's drive-thru. With all this wonderful weather, my day can't get any better. Tucked in and a kiss goodnight, warm milk puts me at ease. When I grow up, I'll play forever, and nobody can stop me. I grew up. With age comes wisdom. With wisdom comes power. With power comes responsibility. A sad reality visited me. Outdoors turned to cold floors, smart boards, and numbered doors. Fun and play turned to dreary hallways, child prodigies and bums array. Welcome to my 8th grade. Same bullies, new words. Darkened is my rainbow. Underground lies my halo. Rest in peace, says the tombstone. I'm the blackest in my class, the Jim Crow amongst doves. Does my white paint my black, or does my black paint my white? Maybe I should change to make things right. Straight hair, skinny bones, blue eyes, and new clothes. I do my best to fit in, but sometimes I forget my skin tone. Class, today we're learning about slavery. I feel curious eyes turn to me. Up and down, they look every nook and cranny, thinking about where I would be in that history. Questions fall like raindrops in a hurricane. Are those extensions? Can you let me say the N-word? Your braids make you look like an alien, like the one from The Predator. Your hair looks so soft. Can I touch it? Wow, it feels like a cloud. If I had hair like yours, I'd be proud. Shot dead every day, a zombie trying to crawl out its grave. Every bullet takes a bit of black with it, lacking knowledge in my culture, it's a deficit. Dark is bad. Lighten up. You're too young to be thinking about this stuff. Think about lipstick and makeup, iPhones and toys, manicures and pedicures and joy. Well, what about the darkness and light, the death and life, dread and love, murder? Police on the streets could kill my family and me, and I can't remember my skin color. With age comes wisdom. With wisdom comes power. With power comes responsibility. A new reality visited me. Reflection, connection, meditation. Color is coming back to me. My grayscale world I no longer see. Writing is my therapy. My thoughts begin to speak. I hear and understand how depressed I used to be. Red, purple, green, blue, yellow, cyan, and orange. Once a rainy day with dismay is engulfed in a color explosion. Living in different worlds makes me wiser now. And with this new power, I hereby vow to remember who I am. Don't worry what others think. Black isn't bad. The opposite, really. It's bold, beautiful, and unique. Blue skies, white clouds, color is back in stock. Brown feet taking steps to meet a dream down the sidewalk. Thank you.
Woo, yeah. We gonna snap and clap on that. Y'all done got me hyped. All these poems, I would not want to be in y'all shoes because I don't know who is who and who gonna be the who. Do we have any more people out there that would like to speak? Any more poems?
You can tell us in the chat or in the Q&A, whichever you prefer.
Okay. So I like to dabble. So while we waiting, I'm gonna dabble. I'm not a Samuel or a Fresh, but I'm a Nancy Maxwell. All right, here we go. Until it happens to you. The world is viewed through rose-colored glasses. They can't see the bodies lying in pools of red with hands still lifted in the air. Blind to mass incarceration. Visualizes civil rights as rioting and looting. pictures the newscast as the truth, never as a smokescreen of lies. Why does it have to why does it have to what does it have to do with me, you ask? Nothing, I guess, until it happens to you. Football players on one knee, knuckles faded white, heart racing because cherries and berries are in the rear view. More convicted than enslaved. Prisons work on the inside, no job when free. Working places, government officials, and boards void of color. You seem to wonder why the little black girls pick the white down. I reflected, I'm protected, but what can I do? Nothing until it happens to you. People marching, police murders on the rise. It's okay. They kill each other. It's so sad. Build more prisons because crime is so bad. I do care. I'm not prejudiced. I scream. I got a black friend. Besides, what does it have to do to me? Nothing until it happens to you. Justice for all is the pledge I make with my heart, with my hand over my heart, while releasing a warm breath of lies. Land of the free and home of the brave, no land of the cage and home of the slave. Bring me your weary, says liberty. Decoded, bring me your white privilege. Let's diminish civil rights. After all, they had a black president. Besides, this is not my fight until it happens to you. Silence cosigns injustice. Looking the other way agrees with injustice. Walking away kisses injustice. Holding tightly the blinders marries injustice. Break the contract, face the truth, march for justice. Take off the blinders, divorce injustice before it happens to you. So, did we get anybody else to come up?
I don't think so. Okay, we'll say last call on that. Somebody
Yeah.
puts in the chat or into the Q&A real quick. We'll let you on board. But if not,
Maybe we can have Fresh come up one more time
be shrugged.
before we make a decision.
Yeah. I'm ready to do another one. A wise man once said, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So, yeah. This next one is called How Are You Really? I think I wrote this one in 2017, and it's just dealing with mental health. And, I'm not going to over explain it. I'll let you guys hear it. Here we go. How are you? No. How are you really? Most of the time we respond with fine, but that's because we understand that those asking the question really don't care and definitely don't have the time. This fast-paced society doesn't give us time to truly speak. So we check in with loved ones that we hardly ever speak. Social media got us checking in to concerts and restaurants. We're hardly ever clinics and counselors, offices, the internet. No. Why did it go dead?
Hopefully, Fresh can get back on. Oh, there we go. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what happened. Hold up. Switch to the backup camera. There we go. All right. The internet has made the world so much smaller, but we still haven't grown closer. We've just mastered the art of keeping it together, and we dare not lose composure. But what happens when pretense falls, depression hits, and your wrists look like do not open before Christmas, and it's minutes till midnight on December 25th, or you're looking at pills and liquor, hoping they can bring the healing quicker. We worried about the pollution of the sea, but what about the polluted bloodstreams of loved ones we see hurting anonymously? I see you. The pain in your eyes, the quick hesitations of weighing the options in your mind, your brain's abacus, calculating if those inquiring on your health are truly worthy of your trust. You are scared that if people find out how broken you are, they may need the therapy you refuse to take. It's time out for cookie cutter answers and generic solutions. Don't you dare say I'm fine. Things will get better with time. And don't you dare hide your stress when I'm blessed. Nah, you was blessed before I ever asked you the question. So again, I ask, how are you? Really? But before that question can be asked, be prepared if the person on the receiving end of it takes you to task. Like bloody, you know about all the abuse they've had. or thoughts of ending it all because there's no hope left. Be prepared to offer them real suggestions. There's no harm in guessing or getting a second opinion. Help them find what heals them. Let them know there's power in prayer and therapy. The two are not mutually exclusive. You see, Jesus had a doctor, technically a physician in his crew, so I'm guessing that God and science are cool. Let them know there's power in exercise, meditation, even adult coloring books. This is the crazy world we've inherited, but living real life looks ugly. But that's because it's all in one take. There's no time for filters, crop outs, or edits. These are dark days, and we are praying we can find the exit. This is for those who are at the end of their rope or who have had thoughts about being at the end of one. I believe that every breath we continue to take is a blessing. In a world that brags on grinding 24/7, there is no harm in resting. No harm in being more concerned with the inner sanctum of your temple than the outward exterior of the building. I understand that this life offers more questions than answers, like, why was your innocence stolen and why does your family feel cursed by cancer? I have no prophetic answers, but what I do have is a listening ear, an empathetic heart. I can pray for you to the Lord in Jesus' name if you into that sort of thing, but I have no spiritual salve, no mental medication. I will probably fail all of your expectations. I just want you to know that I care, and I want you to answer me truthfully whenever I ask, how are you? Really?
That was awesome, Kenny.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
do you and Samuel need a minute to make some decisions?
Yeah, we'll chat. We'll chat and get it together.
Okay. So
How many prizes do we have, Nancy?
we can do 4. So we can do it first, second, third, and fourth. Hi, Cody. Are you wanting to do a poem? Did you want to do a poem? You're muted. You're muted. Cody, you're muted.
Lower left-hand corner of your screen.
Oh, he probably, this is a webinar.
There we go. It was saying I couldn't unmute because it just wasn't allowing it. So that's why I'm apologizing.
Wow.
I would love to. I just need a couple more minutes. I'm just getting settled and I'm so sorry. I took a quick nap and then that went from quick to long. So I'm sorry.
That's okay. We'll give you a minute to get your thoughts together.
Okay. Well, how is everyone today?
Great. You missed some awesome poems. You're going to have to go back and listen to it again because this was on fire tonight. I'm here to tell you.
I know. That's why I felt so guilty when I woke up and I was like, it is 30 minutes past. My God. It was one of those long days.
We're ready when you are.
Righty. Let me look up. I have a few of them, but I wanted to know which one I wanted to use. Let's see. Was there necessarily a theme you guys wanted to stick to, or is it just any poem?
Yes, it's racism or healing.
Racism or healing?
Yeah.
I have quite a few with healing. Okay, I'm ready if everybody else is.
Yes, please continue.
The title is Change Your Mind. Because of your thoughts, I became afraid of myself, the person I wanted to be. But because of your actions, I lost touch of my body and have developed into a weed. Because of your words, I stopped myself so many times from being happy. You stayed silent when I needed your support, which was the worst part of that all. You have abandoned me since I was barely able to love myself. To recover was only a task a diamond can withstand. I don't need your love any longer. I don't need your respect either. And forget about the word acceptance or tolerance too. I have given myself all of that and then some. But if you ever wanted to know me, I will be here waiting. If you change your mind and decide I'm worth loving, regardless of the person I may lay sleepless nights with, I will be here, filling my cup of stars for us to share and talk about the messy world we reside. Thank you.
Thank you, Cody. That was awesome. So let's see. Kenny and Samuel, are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are we you ready?
yeah. You're pretty spot on.
Yeah. So you can announce the first place.
Yeah, we can start from the, I guess, yeah, let's start from the bottom. I'll go fourth and third, second, then
30 seconds. Okay.
yeah.
So for fourth place, we have Carmen. Miss Carmen. That's who we have for fourth place. Shout out to her. Clap it up.
Yes, thanks for sharing. In third place, I think she left, but Chanel, I think that's how you said her name.
Yeah,
Yes,
Archanel.
Chanel was third place, so give her a round of applause.
Yeah.
Yes. This was tough here, but
All right. Here we go. The second place. Second place is Zaria. If I said that right. Yes, awesome. There you go. Yeah, I said it right. Oh man. So that for first place, we have drum roll.
yeah.
First place we have
Is Mahala, right? Oh, I get it wrong.
I didn't want to jump all the way up.
I know, right? We both were like, Mahala, Pittman.
It's Pittman. Pittman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. And shout out to everybody that shared anything. It was amazing. That was,
Yes, it was.
yes.
The fourth place we have Carmen. Third place was, what was her name?
Archanel.
Archanel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And Zaharia for second. And who was our first place? Pittman.
Yeah, Mahalo. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you all. You will receive an email so you can pick up your prize. You should get an email sometime. I'm gonna say Tuesday. I'm sorry, I'm going on vacation, but Tuesday I'll be back, and you will get an email telling you how to pick up your prize. And congratulations to everyone. This was awesome.
It really was.
So I want to thank everyone for joining us. Let me put on my video. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank our co-sponsors, Carbondale Public Library, African American Museum of Southern Illinois, the Women's Center, Soul Ill Unity Coalition, Zeta Amikai of Carbondale. Actually, it should be Men of Strength, Women of Power, and Connect 360. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I want to thank to all who read a poem, because it takes a lot to get up there in front of the mic and not be nervous, kind of like I was, but yeah. And I want to thank Kenny Fresh and Samuel Hawkins. If you have any questions, please feel free to email Nancy Maxwell, which is me at Carbondale. I'm the Carbondale United Director at Carbondale United 15 at gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, and have a great night. Okay, well, it's just, I need to stop the recording now. Okay. I'm about to hit you up on the